Have you ever wondered why fashion runway shows are so beloved by the fashion and art world? What's so exciting about people walking on a platform wearing clothes that they never wear in daily life? Most fashion shows are over in 15 minutes or less, but designers will spend tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars for that moment. In those few minutes, trends are born, careers are launched, and the internet decides what we'll all be wearing next. The first fashion shows began in 1860s Paris with Charles Frederick Worth making the revolutionary decision to display his designs on live models instead of mannequins. These fashion parades, as they were called, quickly spread to London and New York. The Christian Dior show in Paris in 1947 declared the beginning of the post-war era by ditching austerity in favor of lush femininity. And in the mid-1960s, Danielle Luna took the stage, becoming the first Black supermodel and shattering barriers for representation on the runway. If there's anything we can learn from runway history, and the number one thing I've learned from my own fashion show experiences, is that fashion isn't about waiting to be chosen. It's about showing up before you even feel ready. Style rewards people who are willing to try, experiment, and take up space without permission. I attended my very first New York Fashion Week in February of 2023, and honestly, it's probably still my favorite Fashion Week experience to date. Before that, New York Fashion Week felt unattainable, exclusive, very, this is not for you, girl. And then TikTok kind of happened. Suddenly, my feed was full of people explaining to me how they got into fashion shows and how they were navigating the whole fashion week. A lot of videos suggested cold emailing the PR agencies that were producing the shows and asking for an invite or even just offering to volunteer. So I did exactly that. I researched the agencies, I sent the emails, and your girl got a lot of no's and a lot of silence. But a few replied, and a very small number actually gave me tickets. So there I was, February 2023, wide-eyed, excited, slightly delusional, and somehow, I got into the Tiffany Brown Designs, Son John Wen, and Sergio Hudson shows at Spring Studios. That experience taught me something really important. Fashion Week is what you make of it. You don't have to be invited to shows. You don't even always have to have a plan. You just have to be willing to put yourself out there and act when an opportunity shows up. Because you never know what moment is going to become the one that you look back at and say, that's when it all started. So now we're here in 2026, and the art of fashion runway is still evolving with the art of assembly, the raw and the beautiful, a runway fashion show right here in DC. A few of the people who are bringing it all to life are joining me here at Grift the Rich to talk about their work behind the scenes.
I am Avian Lawson. I am the merchandise lead. I'm in charge of designers, I'm in charge of styling, I'm in charge of basically back of house. So on February 15th, I will be in the back styling the models and going through all the chaos that it is in the back of house of a fashion show.
My name is Kaveh Conte. I am the co-director. I'm in charge of the food menu, drink menu, co-directing, which involves front of the house, back of the house, and to make sure that everything runs smoothly for our director.
My name is Leon Sandiford. I am the communication and partnership lead. What I do is make sure everyone is on the same cue so that no one beats each other up.
Okay. All right. So with so many moving parts in a show like this, what was the hardest piece to get aligned as co-show director?
It's like, are we aligned yet? All right, so the main point about getting aligned is like, I think we work best in like a structured chaos, which all then ends up getting aligned, because then once we get in like our group phone calls with the entire team, they were all able to communicate where we're at, what we need to get done, which is where he comes in at, because He calls all of us outside of meetings. He calls all of us once a week, tries to twice a week, and make sure that we're all good mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, so that it can all turn over so you can get your job done.
I think chaos can be good sometimes. There's always beauty in the chaos and what can come after the fact or after all of that happens.
Yeah, but that's why the name is The Raw and the Beautiful, because, you know, out of the raw, there's something you can find beautiful out of it.
And all of our designers make their garments. So these are not being like fast produced or anything. This is being done by hand and machine.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your styling process once you talk with designers and confirm their made pieces?
So once I speak to the designers and they give me their lookbooks of what like they are coming up with, because a lot of them sketch or they do it digitally, I start to get the themes of like what accessories will go with that to bring the look together. Because a lot of things are hard to see unless it's styled. So for our audience, we want them to want to buy these pieces. Yeah, we need them to see how it looks styled. Like if they were going to buy that whole outfit.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, you may see something on the hanger and you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Or what they were thinking.
Yeah.
A lot of things don't have hang appeal, so that's a part that doesn't really work. Sometimes you have to style it in order for the consumer to see themselves in it.
So Leon, I know community is a huge part of the art of assembly. So how did partnerships help open doors for people who might not usually have access to fashion spaces?
I think that we're taking the time to pull people from different spaces and different positions to be able to give a look to the DC fashion scene that a lot of people don't know it has. Like people from the DMV we've influenced so much in fashion, and
For
the
years.
fact that like people don't know that is like, you know, Art of Assembly is going to show that for sure.
DC doesn't really have a platform where it showcases the local talent and the arts here. And this is going to be a groundbreaking, I feel like. We're hoping that this is our inaugural show. So once this one goes, we hope that we can have one every year and showcase different designers and keep showcasing and elevating more brands out of the DMV area.
Why is Art of Assembly using fashion as the vehicle to promote unity, community, and all the good things?
Like your fashion sense is your fashion sense, so no one can tell you. Whatever you put on, and that could bring everyone together from different walks of life, different cultures. Sometimes like you never know, someone might introduce you to something that you're like, I never heard of that, or I've never seen anyone styled that way, and then you can start talking, you can make friendships. It brings people together from all walks of life that you'll never think like you will meet or talk to, because everyone has to wear clothes.
And we've been able to give that, you know what I mean? We've been able to also work. We work with a nonprofit organization called the Community Builders, and we've been able to go into at-risk communities and low-income communities and give those kids a space to create. And some of them didn't even know like that they were creative, and it opens up their mind, and you don't know what that could spark.
We don't want this to be an LLC or S Corp, anything like that. We want it to be a nonprofit, and then we'll open up S Corps and stuff like that. But we want it to be a nonprofit where we give back. And we give back to not only our community, but other communities that are underprivileged, and even communities that are privileged, but they don't have the light to have people speak for them. Like, once we can start to move this from outside of us to our people around us, then it's kind of like we don't have a choice but to keep it moving, because it's a movement at that point rather than business.
Becomes a community staple, like something that you're like, oh, they have that here.
Yeah.
And like right now, like we're doing it for the art of the game. Like right now we're just doing it because we just want to do it. And it's like, you know, through all our ups and downs and stuff like that, we were like, man, we got to get this done. Like our names are on this. This shows who we are. This is going to be a presentation to our community.
Can you guys tell me what's it like behind the scenes at a high-scale fashion show production?
Everyone running around, but everyone it's like controlled chaos. So like everyone has a job, everyone knows where they are, but it's chaos in a sense.
Time management.
So in the back, time management. In the back, it's going to be like everyone making sure hair and makeup is done, making sure it's the way that the designers are envisioning for their models, making sure they are dressed, making sure their accessories that we're getting from Grift the Rich are on them and it's the right items that they picked, making sure clothes are steamed. It's going to be like everyone just running around, making sure everything looks tip-top shape. Yes.
Our show director, Jason, he's been working in New York fashion for about like 20 years now. And he always says like, you know, well, when it starts, it's going to be, hair in the air and yelling there. It's going to be a hot mess, but it comes all together on the stage. That's what he says all the time. So that's kind of like how the experience is probably going to be.
Well, to get a first-hand account at this, Azanna will be speaking with the creative director, Fox, at their fitting rehearsal.
Today I'm at an Art of Assembly dress rehearsal where creative director Charius Fox will talk about his vision behind the show and the process of bringing it all together. Part of what makes a fashion show so special isn't just about the names on the runway. It's also about the audience, the collaborations, and the timeless moments made in the culture when we all come together. Take the Maison Martin Margiela Spring-Summer 1990 fashion show as a perfect example. It was one of the first shows that was truly open to the public. The seating was first come, first served, and the children from a nearby neighborhood held front row seats, allowing for something magical to happen. The kids were so captivated and moved by the show that they instinctively joined the models on the runway. Little did they know, they were making history. Margiela didn't stop the show or ask them to get off the runway. Instead, he let the children and the models have a genuine moment together. By letting that moment happen, Margiela demonstrated that fashion doesn't only belong to the insider elite. Man, fashion belongs to the people who connect with it. He rejected perfection and control in favor of spontaneity, showing that the runway is a place for storytelling and disruption and not just presentation. And during the height of COVID, when public fashion shows were not even possible, the fashion world was in a panic, wondering how to showcase the new seasons. DC-based luxury brand Hanifa shocked the world with the first virtual fashion show for its new collection, bringing the digital space into fashion like never before. Founder Hanifa Mwemba took an obstacle and turned it into an opportunity that also turned heads around the industry. And just last year, the Kids Super Spring-Summer 2025 fashion show, The People's Runway, was an event truly open for the people. The event featured 5 up-and-coming designers who were picked out of hundreds of applicants. It showed the industry that even an open event of its kind can have a luxurious and elegant feel, posing the question of whether exclusivity and rigidity is actually a necessary requirement for upscale style. From the community-led Margiela show, the iconic Kids Super People's Runway, and the innovative virtual runway produced by Hanifa, we see the diverse ingenuity propelling the culture of fashion shows forward. And that's exactly why I'm here today with Fox.
Yeah, my guys.
I'm honored to be with you, man. We're at the Art of Assembly rehearsal.
Yes.
Introduce the people, let them know who you are and what
Yeah.
you're doing today, man.
Hello guys, how y'all doing? I'm Charius Fox. I'm the creative director, producer of the Art of Assembly. I do nightlife. I'm within nightlife and hospitality within DC with the Washington Positivity area. I also do designs. I do graphics. Been doing this for about 8 years now, so that's me.
So, man, I've seen you around. I love what you do. I met you before when you were done. Oh, you're still doing hospitality and nightlife.
Right.
But that's how we met. And now you're doing this great production, Art of Assembly,
Right.
a whole fashion show.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
No, it's insane.
First thing I want to ask is, I think a lot of people don't realize that when they see the extreme design on the runway, extreme look, they might
Right.
think it's like not practical.
Right.
It's intentional for
Right.
individuals or people who are actually producing their runway. How do you go about designing these looks or, interacting with the designers for what
Right.
they put on the runway?
I feel like it's okay to be intentional and kind of have them crazy looks, It's a fashion show. It's something that it's a show for people who don't really get the regular every day, We
Yeah.
We don't want to see something that you can see down the street. You want to see something that you created, you put blood, sweat, and tears in, cultivated the idea from, and actually made it come to fruition. So stuff like that is why people come to fashion shows. So I feel like it fits.
You've always been like a staple, a strong figure, especially in DC hospitality and nightlife.
I appreciate that.
Did you bring something from that aspect? Maybe the business, maybe seeing everybody's looks when you're doing so much events.
For sure.
Did you bring that to the runway?
I kind of had to, you know. That's where I started. You know, fashion was always something I wanted to do as a youngin'. As a kid, I would draw, and I would look at people's, the first thing I would look at when I see somebody, I look at their shoes, see if they did it right, they put it together right. I used to draw fashion, draw clothes, but, you know, I kind of stopped. But as I got into nightlife, you know, that was just a pivotal moment to me, kind of finding myself. I started out at the bottom. You know, I wasn't the head promoter. I was just a sub. And I constantly tried to give the same, you know, love and compassion to everybody as I moved through them. I felt like it came to a point where I realized you can change it and kind of pivot into the realm you want, which was always fashion. And I took them networks that I met those people with. I took them times where I helped somebody or been there to, hey, come out, I'll take care of you, to, hey, come out, this is my event. You know, this is something I'm cultivating myself. So that's something that I definitely did bring over, was them social networking moments and them connections I made throughout it all.
I mean, I know you steezy, I know you can dress, but at the end of the day, you're not a designer. So what gives you the confidence to produce an entire fashion show, push it to the people, and to know that you're gonna deliver?
To be real, the confidence comes along. I don't have it. I didn't have it at the beginning. I didn't. What pushed me to do it was the lack of. It wasn't about me. And that's what got me to do it. That it's for everybody else in this area who felt how I felt. That kind of grew it to be like, you know, let me use my resources from the club. Let me, you know, the after party's right back at the club. That's where I'm intertwining the two. Not only that, let me use my communities. Let me understand that the kids have to understand this is here too. Let me use my models in the community to understand my models are here too. Understand the designers. The designers is not just from DC, they're from the DMV. You know, I even got one coming from Philly to show the feel that it's here. Or we can bring it here or you can showcase it.
That's fantastic. And as somebody who loves the fashion culture as well in DMV, I appreciate you for being somebody who's about to do that. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you having me, bro. Nah, for sure.
Perhaps fashion shows are just as much about the people as they are about style, capturing moments in time in the creative fabrics of a community. What would your city look like on the runway? And what would it feel like to be represented through that art form? Let me give a big thank you to the Art of Assembly team for giving us an inside look into the making and meaning of a fashion show. And of course, thank you for watching. There's so much more to come, so keep an eye out for us as we dive into the art and the culture of fashion.